Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Manila Major Qualifiers. We are here in Europe, and who better to cast it than the one and only GranDGranT repping North America.
Yep. I love EUDota.com as well, so I'm all about that VP versus Team Spirit. CIS Dota, it's just as good as North American Dota.
Very bloody,
It
very
is.
messy.
It is.
Big match here for both teams. Team Spirit, I believe, still mathematically has like a tiny chance, but it depends on other teams. Not
Yeah.
basically, they don't control their own destiny.
Yeah.
Whereas VP has had a bit of a rough showing of their own so far in the group stage. They have not lived up to the potential of the old VP roster, but let's see what they can do here. Draft has begun, guys. I think it's game one is underway. Yeah, game one.
And VP still has another game after this, right?
Yes.
So if they can get two 2-0s, they're probably going to be in. They control their own destiny at least.
I believe that is correct. We're going to try to double check the standings here because a lot of the coverage websites have not been able to keep up with Manila Madness so far. But yeah, we are, I believe we're into the draft here. Yeah, indeed we are. So Sir Action Slacks supposed to be casting this one. He's not here yet.
Yeah,
They're starting games back to back, so he'll probably be stepping in at some point.
Yeah. So should I try to act more like him, or should you? Should you meme? Should I meme? Or should
I don't know. What's your favorite meme?
I hate memes.
I hate memes.
All right,
All
excellent.
right. You are a terrible Sir Action Slacks replacement. Let me just tell you that right now.
It seems like Doom. I think is Doom favored in literally every region. It seems just if Doom isn't banned, he's first picked.
Yeah, so VP does have two more games. They're 1-3, just to answer your question. So they could finish 5-3, or Spirit 2-4. So they do have that slight chance, but they've got the extra loss. So
Yeah.
in
Spirit
theory,
has the
VP
2-0 right here to
Yeah.
probably have a chance.
Yeah, Rebels 2-4 as well. Adfinum looking pretty good, 3-1, and Vega clearly the strongest team in the group at 4-0.
Yep.
So okay, Doom first pick. Grant.
Pretty normal.
Doom's a good hero right now.
Yeah,
Everyone runs him.
Every scene. If Bounty Hunter or Doom aren't banned, they're gonna be the first pick. It seems every game, but Bounty Hunter's always banned.
Yeah, he did get through twice in one of the China games, and or no, it wasn't one of the China games. It was Empire who got him, and they crushed both games. So no
NA
surprise.
went through one game. They won in 20 minutes, so don't think we're gonna see much Bounty anytime soon.
I can't say that I can't say I'll complain about that.
Yeah. Slardar Disruptor has been getting picked actually quite a bit. He's one of those heroes where if you're pressing advantage, it's always great to have. You're chasing the team away. He's always going to get you another pick off. And not only that, he's an excellent defensive support. Haven't seen him first picked in a while, but
We've seen a bit more of the Disruptor lately, but it seems like it's primarily popular with the chasing lineups. You know, like the Pucks, the Slarks. Like the Slardar kind of fits in that mold where you just get that first, like as soon as they retreat, get that first glimpse, instant crush dead, and then you start running down the other backliners.
yep.
So Lich does actually get picked by Spirit. Now, I'm curious for your thoughts on Lich, Grant, because coming into the qualifiers, there's a lot of discussion about how this hero's so broken now, the range creep's worth more, so the deny's more powerful. He hasn't seemed to live up to the hype, at least to me.
He hasn't.
What are your thoughts on the
The
hero?
only thing I know, I watched the game yesterday, and it was Lich Doom, and the Doom ended up stacking armor. He ended up with 84 armor at one point, which I don't know. I think it's a little overkill. The Lich team ended up winning, and I think the thing is he just wins whatever lane he's in. And that's pretty much it. He may not win the mid or late game, but he wins the lane you're in, and if you can press that advantage, it's good. But he's a pretty simple hero.
One-dimensional.
Deny a creep,
Skillless.
get level 2.
Is skillless
Yeah.
a word to use?
Yeah, you click ice armor on someone on a tower, teams can't push against you. You click frost blast on someone, and
I think still my favorite moment of the TI4 qualifiers was we had Fear at the hub, and we were all just watching the games on the couch, and you know, we went around, everyone was talking about like which hero they just wanted to remove from Dota, and he went on like I swear to God it was like a 10-minute rant, 2 heroes, Lich and Viper.
Okay.
Delete them from Dota, skillless heroes. I hate them with the fiery passion. I mean, he doesn't really have fiery passion about too many things.
Oh,
but
he's
he
hated
did about
Lich
that.
for a long time. And in Dota 1, when it used to be right, Radiant versus Dire, like you could only pick heroes from those certain things when you're on that side, and it was always Lich versus Silencer, and that was the mid matchup. So Fear got to play a lot of Lich in his
and got
20
rather
years of
sick it.
playing. Yeah.
By the way, guys, there is still a 115-minute game going on in China for the tiebreaker, which we're eyeing here on the monitor. IG Vitality versus CDEX, so can check that out over on the multicast if you're interested. But
It's not looking like it's gonna end anytime soon unless one of the team just doesn't want to play
I
anymore.
think the server is about to crash, man. Like, there's a permanently doomed Tiny, there's a permanently BKB'd and Shadowbladed Magnus, there's just a free perma Lotus Orb, like all kinds of cool stuff happening. But in this game, more standard things. Night Stalker will get banned out. Vision Hero's great with Disruptor. Like
Yeah,
that's the big thing to me.
I think that was a fine pick. And Slardar has even played. He's pretty much just moved to the carry lane now, right? I don't think we saw for a while like Moon Meander was running it off lane. A bunch of teams running it off lane. Now it's just always in the carry lane.
It's the armlet Slardar, I guess, is the big
Blink,
thing.
yeah.
It kind of functions somewhat like a Blink where you don't instantly start in the fight, but you're so tanky you can just run in at them and
Especially
survive.
Sprint, yeah, that's the best thing. And then Puck Band, obviously, mid hero. They guess they just don't want to see the team fight in mid.
They're all about the catch here, and they don't want that like strong defensive ability, so they do ban out the Venge VP. Who else do you think fits in well with this? Like looking at G heroes, Puck is something that he's played in the past. Puck gets banned here. Lina, Invoker are some of his staples.
Wind Ranger. We haven't seen much of Wind Ranger actually this tournament. I was surprised. Before this tournament, we were still seeing a bunch of them. Sumail Armlet Wind Ranger. That was quite the treat to watch.
Armlet Wind Ranger. What do you think? What do you think of the Armlet on the Wind Ranger?
I thought it was terrible, but Sumail's won a TI, and I haven't, so I guess technically it's good. If that's how it works.
If only winning TI made everything that you did permanently good.
Yep.
That would be nice.
That would be the best. And then Void Band. So Void Slardar, that would have been interesting. Core duo.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird ban. There's not great synergy there. Even like most of the Void's damage is magical damage from the bash, so the amp doesn't really work that well. But
I guess they just don't want to get Void. They don't want to get picked up. It is. Chronosphere was what, 60-second cooldown? I mean, it's always going to be good even if you're not doing damage.
That's true.
Now Mirana. Seems all we've seen is mostly just it's rushed Ags. Midas into rushed Ags is what I've seen in the like 10 games I've seen Mirana played.
It's been very hit or miss. Some games incredibly successful, and Mirana's like 30k net worth.
Yeah.
You know, 35, 40 minutes, and the enemy carries like 5, 10k behind. Other games very underwhelming.
5 seconds.
They have good setup for the arrow. The crush, the kinetic field glimpse are decent-ish, I would say.
Yeah. And if Mirana if she does get an early Ags, like the farm's insane. She may not have the best team fight, but once that farm gets going, then Mirana just gets a little bit out of control.
Yeah, just every creep wave instantly dies, basically. Press Q, collect gold.
Team Spirit, this is interesting. I feel they could run like a Lich Doom together and just run at the offlane with Infernal Blade, but who knows if that'll actually happen.
Yeah, I want to actually check how they've been running it.
Oh, a Jakiro.
This is feeling more Godblack like by the second.
Yeah, it is.
They bust out the twin head.
Have you seen a Jakiro yet?
They have run it twice.
Yeah.
They are 1-1 with the hero.
Okay.
Let's see. They beat Rebels with it. So when they ran that draft, they had a Bounty Slardar TA and a Doom.
Bounty.
Funnick played the Doom last time. It was an Always Want to Fly twin head that game, and then the loss, it was an Always Want to Fly twin head. So it seems they run it primarily as a support, no solo mid NA Dota style Jakiro.
Oh, thank goodness. That is something else. Yeah, but
so yeah, I guess if history is our guide, Funnick Doom. Oh, set up for the arrow. We've just been seeing a lot of a la carte Miranas, but this will actually be something to. This is like the dream Mirana game now.
No, it is.
Look at all the setup.
It is, and Shadow Demon's he's kind of like a disruptor too. He's obviously defensive. He can save your team, but then with a Mirana, he can be paired up, be offensive. He's pretty much all around good right here.
5 seconds.
I'm pretty sure even a blind cripple could hit these arrows.
Well, guess we'll find out. See if they.
And G is neither blind nor crippled, so he's not gonna miss this game. I'm liking the Mirana.
So what does Team Spirit need? They need a mid hero, and they most likely need a carry hero, unless it's a carry Jakiro.
Their draft's really weird though. Like they have very little proper control, no real stuns.
This is feeling like they're kind of setting up a 5-man early.
It feels like a push, like some sort of push strat is coming. Like Lycan comes to mind. They were running a lot of the Iceberg Invoker.
There we go.
Dragon Knight push strat. Here we go. But pretty decent here to have against Slardar in general. But they also have Magic Burst. Like they have Mirana, they have Shadow Demon, they have the Soul Catcher as well. So.
And it means, I mean, VP knows what they're going up against mid now, so they get their choice of hero, what they think is good versus DK, which I think is better for them than it is for Spirit.
5 seconds.
So definitely VP is going to ban out some sort of carry hero that can push early, I have a feeling.
So what would that be? Lycan.
5 seconds.
It's not really a drow game at all.
Yeah, I was thinking Drown. I'm like, no, that's just not the hero. No, they ban out a...
They're expecting a Korjuk hero?
Radiant's ban.
They banned the Witch
That's what it
Doctor.
seems. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Korjuk hero. We
Have you seen any Korjuk hero in this patch?
No,
or?
not since I think the TI4 era, so not for quite some time now.
Someone was running it in North America more recently, I think.
10
Oh,
seconds to
it was.
go.
Who was
I
it
think
again?
it was. I know Animal Kingdom or just Kingdom ran it.
Yeah,
for a bit,
yeah.
and
5 seconds.
Did not work, right?
it did not work. That hero is not a scaling hero, that's for sure. Brood.
Good against TA. I think that was where we were seeing a bit. But they're going to ban the Brood, so they definitely want to push. They do not want
They
VP
don't
to
wanna
be able
deal
to
with
stall the game.
So we'll see if they do go for a Korjuk hero, if they just pick up a carry hero.
Lone Druid, maybe, if they want something safe and tanky.
10 seconds to go.
Shadow Demon is pretty good versus Lone Druid. The bear just gets destroyed, especially the Slardar minus armor. I think that'd be a
That's
tough
true.
pick to pull off. And both teams using all their reserve time. They're like, well, we all still have a chance. We're going to play to the bitter end.
Jug?
Jug's always a great 5-man here, especially if he gets early game farm.
He's bad against Shadow Demon Slardar to a certain extent. Like, actually
10
quite bad
seconds to
against them, I
go.
would say.
Yeah.
But he fits well with their draft.
Yeah, he does. And I mean, you can't.
5 seconds.
It stinks when you get yourself into a draft and you're like, I'm going to draft around myself. And then the other team like is countering you. You're like, well, we got to keep going 3-1. They go with Slark, so
All right, so not going all in on the push.
it feels like. I wouldn't say this is 4 protect 1, but it feels like they have a group of 4 that can fight and do decently versus the other team while Slark maybe just farms, gets a Shadow Blade Drum, Aquila, and then he joins the fray. And I think by that time,
10 seconds to
if Team
go.
Spirit's taken a couple of towers with Dragon Knight, then it could definitely work.
Well, Slark definitely has his way with Murana.
Yeah.
The leap is useless.
Oh, there we go.
And they up until that pick did not have that much like AoE damage or control, but Axe great to have against the Slark. So
And FNG, he is the off laner, isn't he now?
yeah, FNG's been the
So
off
the
laner,
Slardar?
so safe lane
That's
Axe.
it, one Axe.
Murana mid for G.
How has that looked? I watch a few of their games, but has FNG looked decent on the off lane?
He's looked pretty shaky, I would
Has he?
say.
Okay.
So I mean, he said at least at Star Ladder, and when I spoke to him, he's still like trying to learn the lane, learn some of the mechanics. He feels like he's a little more comfortable with those now, but now there's a new patch that's
Yeah.
dropped. The off lane has changed again a bit. The map's a little different. Like it's not only are you still adjusting the role, but now you got to relearn your Dota a bit. So
Yep, and this is Team Spirit
10
can.
seconds to go.
That's a good thing about having a Lich. You can just throw him in any lane, and that lane is going to do a lot better than it would have beforehand.
we've now hit 2 hours on the
Oh.
IGVC deck game, by the way.
Excellent. I think the longest game I cast was that Archon game that was in exactly this. So
A courier just died with 5,000 net worth, and it's like it's like irrelevantly small. There are heroes with 60k net worth in this game right now.
awesome. There's just 3 rapiers sitting everywhere. And the pause good. It's not just NA Dota.
Yeah, so we have a moment here to relax,
Yeah, talk about how your day's been going.
contemplate life and the meaning of Dota.
Well, if there's a Lich in every game, there's not much meaning.
Yeah, that hero is a soul-sucking one.
He's
I mean, you even look at him; he looks like
he just looks like you just hate him, like you would hate him in a party or something.
he would hate himself at a party. Lich doesn't party. Lich ruins the party.
He
Lich
really
poops
does.
all over it. So yeah, VP have to check their net. Gonna be a couple minutes, but yeah, how you doing, Grant? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Have we ever casted a game together?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was the first I
Unless,
casted.
unless you count you flaming me in chat when I'm casting. You
Probably,
casting
because
you.
I feel my flaming you in chat's probably better casting than what you're doing. Oh, all right, I'm sorry. I
Dang,
didn't
dude.
mean that. I didn't mean that.
No, you meant it.
No, I didn't. You're a good guy. Yeah, I casted with OD for the first time yesterday, and he got to watch True NA Dota with the Kunkka level 7 at 60 minutes in, just bringing back the Tinker over and over, and they lost.
That is incredibly cheesy.
The MVP hot 6,
It
yeah,
did not
Sunbeam
work?
Juby, no, it never
No.
works. You get, your Tinker is just level 25 at 25 minutes in, then you lose.
Do you think
about it.
Tinker's any good in this patch? Like, a lot of teams have been trying to run him.
I've seen it. The only Tinker I've seen that's actually paid off is Van from Elite Wolves when he was playing it at WePlay, and anytime he plays it, we won't see him as much, but
Don't talk to me. That team makes me so salty.
yeah, it
Like,
does. They could definitely be a tier 1 team, and well, they still are, but 2Ed will never see it.
Now they're tier 1 betters.
Got him.
Unfortunate.
Yep. And looks like Radiant's just going to go for the bottom rune. I don't think we're going to see a rune fight this game. And it is going to be actually Is it Yoku?
Yoku, yeah.
Yoku, okay. Going to be
on the
playing the
axe.
offlane axe, actually. I think with Slarda, you can throw him
Actually.
wherever you want. He'll do fine.
Yeah. Out of the two, probably Slardar the one that
Needs more farm than an
scales
axe.
better
Yeah.
with the farm, yeah.
And an axe can obviously just go to jungle, so your Slardar is farming safe lane, your axe is farming jungle.
Yeah, it's probably a more efficient way to distribute the lanes.
I'm just excited to see where the Lich goes.
You're excited
I'm
to
excited to
see
see
where the Lich goes.
what lane the Lich decides to win for his team.
It's more which lane he decides to ruin
For the other
enemy
team, yeah.
But you have the optimists.
Look at that.
Glass half full outlook on it.
Radiant, they wanted bottom rune instead. We're just going to see Dire go for bottom rune and nothing. Well, neither team's really like committing to a rune right now.
The bounty runes have become a lot like more chill, I feel, as far as like the early contests now with the
Oh,
no
FNG's
experience.
going for it. Oh, and he had the skill level 1 stun, but he gets the rune for it.
Well, in a bit of trouble here, Iceberg. Getting harassed, but does have the 4-man shield. Pretty damn tanky with that.
Oh, but he takes
Oh.
the shortcut. He might get put under here. Nope.
Yeah, that was a slightly greedier path to take back to the lane, and Aloha Dance was not going to let him do it for free. But so they are dual laning mid. This is a really annoying lane for Iceberg.
Yeah, and I think they expected the Lich to be middle, and he's not now. No Fear is just like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here.
So Team Spirit rocking the triple dragon strat now, and we're going to see that level 1 liquid fire on Yoku. Not fun for an axe. This is one of the better supports to zone an axe, I would say. Heavy magic damage, very spammable, but he's going to get the help.
He is on the dual lane, Axe and Disruptor versus a Slark and THD, who both teams just okay farming, because Slark can't really commit to an Axe, but it's not like the Axe can kill a Slark either.
Yeah, but he can probably put a little more pressure out, I would say.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Illidan
middle
will be
lane.
very defensive.
We actually have Iceberg, he gets arrowed.
Oh, he's blocked. Warcraft 3 surround, but the illusions are going to despawn. Maybe just to time that PMS paying off, but not enough. VP, find the first blood. What a great surround there by Aloha Dance. You know, that kind of harkens back to when we were seeing like a lot of the dual roam strats, like FY Fenrir come to mind, where they would often get that full surround with the disruption.
Oh yeah, that was just 2P. That was just Aloha Dance getting the surround. Oh, and they're just chasing the Slark away. They're bullying him in lane.
Always want to fly going through for the pull through, but all of a sudden, Aloha Dance does appear, has the disruption, but he times it wrong right as the call comes out. Not very synchronized here from VP, but it seems the spins are on Yoku's side. I think got 3 there.
Yeah.
And that's enough to kill anything.
So a little team miscommunication. Luckily, they have an axe and just right-click you, and
Luckily,
there you go.
they
Luckily.
have an axe. And now he's cutting the wave. This is a great way to deal with the Slark.
Yeah, it is, and they just keep pulling the pole camp there, and this Slark's gonna be really underfarmed.
And sometimes you'll even see T's block their own pole camp against
Because of
Axe
that.
just so he can't do that.
It is an offlane Doom, so
Look at Aloha Dance. He's coming back mid. There's no ward. It's gonna be a sad Iceberg, I think. Does have a little help, but it's only a Lich. Like Lich can't.
throw Frost Blast.
He can't really save Iceberg if there's a disruption. Looking for the turnaround. G does have the level 2 Starstorm here. No, he's gonna play it safe.
That's smart. He has his bottle, he has a flask, and just go back to dual laning.
So IGV won, by the way.
They did end up winning. All right.
Somebody won.
Somebody won, yeah.
The viewers.
The viewers didn't win, but somebody did. Or maybe they did. Maybe they like those games. They like sitting there.
Yeah, they lost a lot of time, but maybe they won some entertaining Dota. But
I like the Axe actually going for the Orb of Venom. He's literally just been right-clicking on the Slark now in lane whenever he shows himself.
Slark 7 CS. Illidan, I think, just got some more regen. He's not having a good time.
Put under. I get the call. Yeah, he's just dead.
That's the combo.
I didn't think about that. He really can. He can just put him under Axe and call the Mirana arrow. There's gonna be a lot of pickoffs. I don't know when team fights start happening, but the pickoffs would be pretty easy for VP.
It's really like Funnick's got to come up big.
Yeah.
Slark's gonna have a really bad time. Mid's under a lot of pressure. You do have the Lich denies, but later on in the game, Lich not gonna offer much.
You have Frost Armor, and there you go.
And Yoker's just manning up.
Oh, and
bottom lane.
FNG is is manning up on Funnick will miss this stun though.
Good juke there.
Now Yoku. Luckily it's only level 1 leap, he'll just run away.
He's gonna salve up here. Should be okay. So
Yeah,
looks like Doom definitely getting the upper hand here in the top lane though.
yeah, he is. If FNG was so close, if he hit that stun, he would have got the solo kill on him, but he didn't, and now... Ooh. See a roam coming from No Fear. Could just disrupt him back into a stun, like you said, and get a kill, but I think Funnick will play pretty safely.
They are getting the pretty big level advantage here. Oh, top
And
lane.
then I said that, and of course he doesn't play safely.
Yeah, Funnick posting up. He has really played aggressively this storm, and well, VP there with the punish. Nukes into the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, they also went in with the disruption and the arrow Starstorm combo. G has a regener, and he might look to turn around here on Iceberg. Could bottle up his Shadow Demon and go again. That's what he's gonna do. Aloha Dance coming around, and there's just no vision for the Shadow Demon. Like nothing to see the rotations bottom. Nothing really to see him coming from the north.
Boom, bottom lane, we might see the first kill for Team Spirit. It looks like they will get the Axe Liquid Fire.
He's got call. He can try and pray for the spins. No, not gonna happen.
He got
but
one.
Back mid, going again. They still have the level 3 Starstorm, but they want to dive the tower.
Yeah, Shadow Demon just rowing between bottom and mid has put so much pressure on him.
They really need a
That'll be
ward.
good.
Like
Yeah,
they have this one here, but it doesn't scout him coming to, you know, like come from behind the camp or even too much from the north. You only have like a very short time to react. So
meanwhile, Dyer has 2 wards at middle right now. One of them is finally just died right now.
this is a weakness of Lich. Like one of the big weaknesses, he doesn't stop the push that well. As top lane, Funnick's gonna get caught out, and blows the Doom for nothing. Yoku's just gonna chill.
He's not taking any. He'll just be able. Luckily, it doesn't cancel Tranquils for some strange reason. He'll just sit and take 0 damage from it.
How is that the case?
I don't know. I've always noticed it. Just doesn't cancel it. Middle lane, they actually got an Iceberg again, but they're diving a little bit deep.
FNG posting up here, and Iceberg will go down. So Aloha Dance just MVP right now.
They might be able to play up FNG. Always want to fly. Actually TP'd in. He'll get a response at least.
Well, space for the Slark, who desperately needs it.
Yeah, he did. And he's going Midas. Midas Slark used to be like, some people get it, but now I think everyone gets it. Just accelerate your farm. Attack speed's not bad. On Disruptor.
Oh, what a kinetic field. Funnick just completely trapped out, but he may go down here. No Fear trying to run away. Funnick, though, still has the haste through for a little bit longer. Trying to turn on Yoku. Great play by Yoku there to save his buddy. As Aloha Dance is going to move in. Drops the Soul Catcher. Yoku has a spin soon, has stick charges. And Funnick's Scorched Earth going to wear off. Not able to get anything done after that great start in the off lane. And just the BM disruption there, just for the hell of it.
And now Lich is actually going to just... They're just going to mess with each other. Oh, with Always Want to Fly, they're actually just going to be able to pick off Aloha Dance, I think.
By the way, it is a Tranquil's Slardar. Tranquil's safe lane Slardar.
I usually just see brown boots into Armlet, but... Okay, Tranquil's works, give you a little more mobility, stay in lane. And he's rotated bottom now to go against the Slark. And the Slark has to play so far back.
We have seen the Tranquil's Slardar like in an off-lane position, but it's quite odd to see it for the safe laner. Especially in this patch, like you mentioned, where Armlet is so popular, but it does save a bit of gold, so I imagine the Blink Dagger Rush is the goal here for FNG.
Like you said, Funnick was the one who was actually winning their lane, and that's why Slardar had to get something. He was losing the lane, now he's just trying to farm their jungle.
Yeah, so Iceberg cracks level 6 now, and this is the power of the DK, just go hit the tower. But, the nuke damage, you better watch out. Oh, this is the arrow. Gothrak just chucking out the Chain Frost, kill secured. Oh, they didn't quite get the combo right there.
No, that's rough. That would have probably been a double kill with the Lich. If the Lich throws out ult, instead they just turn it into a kill of their own.
I love the fact that Goblak just had no hesitation, just like, dump that Chain Frost. Solo Black Hole for a kill, like, there's no reason to...
Always worth it early, why not?
Yeah. Good stuff from the captain of Team Spirit.
Man, he's been the captain of about every team, and there's a reason for it. He's a smart guy.
Uh-oh, Illidan, a little bit of trouble here. Oh, Static Storm, the cage. not actually in time there.
Oh, look at him
Illidan
hide
just
behind those
walks away.
trees.
They did force the ult out. FNG moving in, but then you get a range always want to fly the glimpse back into the kinetic field. This time they do manage to cage him. They will slay 2 of the dragons. G on a dominating streak.
Wow. And the Doom just TP's in, so they have everyone's bottom already at 9 minutes in, besides the Dragon Knight.
He's just on an island mid. Iceberg having a, I mean, this is the Lich factor, but having a good time mid at least.
Yeah, he is, and they're
42
actually,
12.
yeah. VP got the first 4 kills in the game, but Team Spirit's up experience and gold, and definitely give that to Lich.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Looks like the No Fear wants to do a bit of dewarding. And we'll find one. Can he kill it in time? Iceberg, get the hell away from my ward. Leave it alone. He's going to get stunned. And No Fear may get punished. Does have the glimpse. He opts to drop the kinetic field. May take down to the poison. Yeah, just one more auto attack. Doesn't even need the damage over time. And D-ward denied.
Yeah, and if they want, they can D-ward their D-ward, or they can just deny their own ward. Just leave it up.
Such good roaming early from Aloha Dance, but it doesn't feel like they got enough. Didn't take the tier 1 bottom, which is often the power of the offlane axe. Slardar really struggled against the Doom, which is to somewhat be expected.
Yeah.
Not the easiest hero to lane against, but I mean now Iceberg level 6 can just pressure towers and.
Do that with the ice armor, yeah. They can't even push him back. Look, he's willing to tank 4 tower hits just to get 1 more corrosive attack on it.
16 armor, already 50% of the physical damage negated.
That's what we said. I mean, VP roamed well, but now once Team Spirit starts, they'll clump his 4, and they're just gonna start taking your outer towers.
That's where VP, they're gonna need the Blink Dagger, either on the axe or the Slardar. Ideally both, just so you can get the picks before the fight starts.
Yeah. Neither of them. Yoku's about 1,000 off, and he's the closest to it.
The thing is, a lot of these heroes are tanky. Like Jakiro, just naturally tanky. You've got the Lich, who's going to sit super far back. Slark, who's fairly elusive. But here we go, mid lane. Doom onto G. Funnick, another Doom, entirely unsuccessful. Lives back. In fact, he's going to pay for his insolence here. But the Chain Frost lob comes from Godblack, bounces to G. Not quite enough to kill him off. Working on the Doom. He is damn tanky. He's going to man up on FNG. Defensively disrupted. But Illidan's there to clean up. They still lose FNG. The crush comes through. Too late for that. And Funnick able to limp away to safety. Wow. This is not going well at all for VP after a great start from the roaming Shadow Demon. They are just falling apart here.
That 40 regen a second was just all it did. It just kept the Doom alive with Ice Armor, and they can't kill him. And Go Block, and you're right, he's not. He just throws the Chain Frost with the first sign of a fight.
Twice now. Like,
yeah.
That's why you use it the first time, because it's already available for the second fight.
And look at it. I mean, what can they do to Iceberg? Now that he has his helm and a Ice Armor, they can't do anything. They just get a free tower.
21 armor, manning up, 11 HP regen per second. This guy he's become a problem.
Yep. So he died twice so early, and now it just doesn't matter. I think we've noticed early kills are always great, but they are definitely not the end-all be-all anymore.
Yeah, even in this patch where it feels like the early laning and what creeps give you is a bit less, but it's the Lich factor I think that you brought up, where Iceberg just had such a good time mid lane, and even though the Shadow Demon got a couple kills, they still come out of that lane significantly ahead when it comes to gold and experience because of the denies.
Just make sure rotating top. They know he won't have Dragon form up. Do they want to fight? Does Team Spirit want to fight?
How do you fight? Like you have to. It's basically just a disruption or a glimpse. Like no Blink Dagger yet. It's very tricky. So you can see their hesitance.
That's fun. Where Jakiro's actually getting pretty close to a veil. It's a lot of damage.
They're gonna catch out Godblack here. There's the mini glimpse into the crush, and FNG goes to work on him. We'll bring him down. Started getting the last hit, so he closes in on. I mean, I imagine the Blink Dagger.
You're thinking, yeah, Yoku actually has his Blink now in 15 gold, so I think they want to start trying to start the fights on their own terms instead of trying to go on a DK with 30 armor.
That sounds really unappealing. They smoked? Out of range of the Radiant Observer. I think they may have seen it get planted.
They're going to have to, I mean, everyone's bottom though. Are they going to be able to even run all the way down there in time? They're just going to lose this tower.
Playing around the Twin Head and the Dragon Knight very well.
Illidan, when I think of Slarks, I think of two people. I think of Mason at TI4 and Illidan. Illidan is always one of those people, he just gets 900 gold per minute, you don't even notice.
God Black, this could be a big chain frost. They're really clumped up here. They're going to walk forward. Two heroes directly next to each other. He lets it go. It bounces directly between them onto G. G's going to die. The cat gets slain. God Black with the double kill. The crouching Lich, hidden damage. More than enough. Meanwhile, bottom lane, always want to fly. Look at this, just aggressively pushing in that tower. Does manage to get the ultimate off. Gonna man up on No Fear, force the Disruptor back. Yoku has no mana, but does have the stick charges available, and now gonna get the call off, looking for the chop. Are we gonna get our first dunk of the game? Slams it in. Explodes that dragon in a cloud of blood. 2 for 2. Man, God Black. This Lich.
Yeah, he's
3, 2, and 5. They have 9 kills. He's been in on 8 of them.
So he's gonna feel good. Now they're just, yep, there we go. They're just pushing Tower's Team Spirit, and they actually see a lot. And do they have reveal? Lich? He has 1 sentry.
Is God Black going to be the man here of the hour as well? Hasn't planted it yet. Arrow coming through and swing and a miss. But Illidan in the trees.
Oh, and there goes their 1 sentry. They put it on the tower. Now it's dead.
Yeah, you got to. That's the Mirana. Oh, Iceberg caught out here. Soul Catcher.
Ow.
Huge.
He was a little out there by himself behind the tower.
Yeah, you have 21 armor, but you have no resistance to magic damage.
Yep, and that Soul Catcher is actually, that Soul Catcher is kind of, that's a nice counter to all the armor they have.
Yeah, with the Lich, the Dragon Knight, I mean, even Jakiro tends to get some plus armor.
tanky.
Speaking of which, always want to fly is about to get a Veil. He's already got Helm and the double null tally.
Nyoku looking. He has the blink. Is he going to get him?
Oh, he already bought it. So still pretty good for Yoku, though, if he can get a kill, but it doesn't look like it.
Plenty of spins. And we've seen Vanguard actually come back. I've noticed like Axe and Bristleback have actually benefited the most from the Abyssal change. The hard carries lose a lot of the damage. You see a lot with the, you get locked down, you get HP.
Yeah, the more, it's less like the hard carry assassination. Might have been more like the tanky mid-game, like, core that wants to be in the front lines type item.
I mean, he might just go Crimson, but who knows? Here we go with the Veil. Yeah, I'm surprised Team Spirit hasn't grouped up as 5. We've seen them group up as 4 and take mid, and then after that, they just haven't tried again.
Imagine if you drop that Veil and God Black hits another one of his legendary Chain Frosts.
Oh my.
That would be scary. But yeah, it is going to be, like
Now
you
they
said,
are.
kind of the classic Mirana build. Well, not classic, but the new...
The new classic.
The new, like, cookie cutter Mirana build is what I meant to say.
Midas and the Ags. I'm not a fan of it, but everyone else is, and I'm sure they have a way better idea of it than me. Yeah, here we go. We see them. They are just doing they do the 4-man while Illidan just farms.
There's your Vanguard, but again, it's both teams. A lot of magic damage. Like the Veil on Team Spirit, you've got the Shadow Demon pure damage and a decent amount of nuke from the Mirana. So just stacking armor is not the solution by itself.
Yeah, it's not. Soul Catcher is just scary because he's maxing. Usually you see Shadow Poison. I mean, he's kind of maxing each.
Good grab there by Yoku. Finds God Black down in the river. And Aloha Dance, not wanting to blow the Purge here, is going to let it go now. They have the chop. And Yoku, a very satisfying dunk. Has No Fear, hunting for stragglers. Does just get the uphill ward, but too late for the glimpse.
Both teams, it feels like now the VP does have their blink, it's become a lot easier for them. They still don't want to just fight 5-on-5 versus Go Black and Veil THD, but they're getting a lot more pickups.
Looking at mid, Illidan wants G. He doesn't have detection though, so he's going to need the backup, and that's coming in the form of always one play. Actually, G, the Moonlight Shadow doesn't fade in time.
Yeah, and he threw Veil on, so the Dark Pact did just enough damage to kill him.
Nice. the offensive Veil TP.
The offensive Veil.
That's sick. Oh, they find Iceberg. Goes back. Static Storm here. Quick TP out, but FNG blinks in.
Wait.
Oh, the Crush was cooling down.
Oh, man.
I think he had used it to farm. Possibly? Not sure.
The middle Illidan is just going in on them now.
Nice TP, but not gonna happen.
Always want to fly is just right there for Illidan, providing the little 50 extra damage they need, and the Ice Path just barely picks them off.
Yeah, just the tip there. Looking at the way the game's going, Grant, it seems to be favoring Spirit more and more. Do you see VP being able to come back, or is this one just slipping away for them?
It feels, I mean, Mirana's going to get an Ag, but we saw, like, Illidan just soloed her. It's going to be tough until they get a few more items, and we're going to see Team Spirit's going to be the ones getting items. They're going to be able to just take these outer towers whenever they want when DK ult is up with Armlet now. With
Arrow.
Frost armor, 36 armor.
Yep. Seems pretty good. 1800 health as well. And even with the amp still sitting at 21. Yikes. They doom the Disruptor and they just go in on FNG. Slardar down. Fishy.
They could go for base now. They don't have their initiation on Slardar. They still have the axe, and Disruptor is he's there with low HP, but
they have a healthy amount of duration here on the Corrosive Breath, or the Dragon Knight ult as well. Keep on spamming that liquid fire, kind of your Pugna style approach to things.
Oh, and there we go. He gets arrowed and he's getting gone.
Help here. He does have the armlet. Is he going to be able to pop it in time? No, Yoku spins his way down, but Funnick probably able to pop the blade mail and turn this one back the other direction. Yoku looking to retreat. Everyone on VP starting to get low, and Funnick barely taking, but the Goblik ambush Chain Frost again. It bounces all the way back to the creeps. Doesn't get the lucky bounce to a second hero, or it would have been at least 3, if not 4 kills.
Yeah, it scared them. They just heard Chain Frost coming in, and they all just started running backwards.
Get the hell out! It's Goblik.
Yeah, it is a Crimson Guard.
If that bounced the other way, I think that's 3.
It would have been 3 kills, yeah, for sure. And they do have the Crimson Guard, which is a mild counter to Slark this early before he gets a lot of his damage items, but I mean, they're not really fighting. Team Spirit's not really fighting. They're just attacking the tower. They tried to run away, and then they turned on him, and they're back to farming now.
Oh, they're making a move on bottom. Always want to fly, though. He's here to scout it out.
Oh.
And
they might bet. I'm surprised they don't bait Iceberg right now. He's just going to run back instead.
I'm just not really sure how VP takes objectives here. Like, they can Roche with amp damage, but as far as taking towers, it's really not possible for them. Where Spirit can, like, they win a fight, they're looking to break the base.
Exactly. And VP has to win a. Oh, they're gonna go for the Roche now. They know Chain Frost isn't up, and looks like they're just gonna possibly get it for free, which is the best they can hope for.
I love it. No, they know Chain Frost isn't up, so they can go for Roche.
They can go for Roche.
Easy. Silver Edge on Illidan. So, thoughts on this item in the new patch? Have you gotten to play around with it much?
I mean, it gives better stats for Slark. It's just a better item for Slark now, I think. And he always got it before, and now it's just even better.
Yeah, more of a late game item, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
In some ways.
It's actually fun. If he initiates on Axe now, that like takes all his damage away. He will not be spinning at all. Because it just takes out countering Helix, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, actually.
So it's actually nice initiating on an Axe. And they're going to smoke up that. Oh, they get the ult. This could be bad for Illidan. They scan. Now they're going to see him.
Oh, they do get him, yeah, towards the tail end of the
scan. Oh,
scan.
and they know he's here.
And he's just Arc Packed. This is like the dream initiation. Yoku getting off the call. They're going to follow this up. Everything gets unloaded on Illidan. But will they be able to kill him in time? Yeah, the chop comes through. Always want to fly up in the trees. Gets caught out. Bash. Now a leap forward. G charging for the second kill. Will get it. And I think with that, your Mirana Ags, yep, just completed. That's a big swing of momentum.
That was a nice use of the scan, too. You don't see many. Everyone talked about how OP scan was going to be, and you don't see it used like efficiently that well. And they saw one of their neutral camps was dead, so they scanned another one.
Ah, they found a wild Goblik. Arrow having a fish, and well, with the bash there from FNG, easy setup. They'll give this one to G and puts them at a little more gold. They also have a gem now for no fear.
Where do you go with Mirana after the Ags? You have the Ags, you can farm. Do you just go into a more standard like Manta?
The build has been Blink BOTs. Like you just
BOTs, so just
it's
farm.
It's like pure greedy farm. Like I guess you use the Blink to move around a lot, and you just look for the double Starfall and as many creep waves as quickly as possible.
Double into triple Starfall with the Ags, and
yeah.
It's actually really decent burst damage if you can blink in, but
I mean, maybe we'll see something different, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've seen every game. And then from there, like your standard agi carry items, you know, Scotty, Butterfly, Mjolnir.
This one looks like DK. Looks like they want DK to possibly farm his blink maybe before they go into their next team fight. No, they're gonna smoke up middle.
I really think they need it. Like you don't want Slark to be the one starting the fights, and now there's a gem, so he can't just run in.
I think they're gonna give him this to get his blink. Yep, they do. So that's definitely what they want to do. I think they want to smoke up after this when they get their blink, and that's gonna be a huge team fight right here because both teams are just roaming as 5 right now until always want to fly with top.
So with the blink, if they get a pick, they might be able to break the base. Like getting that first late of racks for this lineup, not essential. They have good late game because of the Slark, but it's just so It's so nice if you have that map control advantage. Then Slark can roam more freely through the jungle, get the deep wards down, but it's VP who are moving out. Smoke down mid.
Oh, and he just used Dark Pact again.
This time it's bait, though. It's a trap. Godblack's waiting to sprint it. He gets up the Chain Frost. FNG tried to stop it, but it keeps on bouncing with the Veil deployed as well. The Jakiro damage is massive from this one, and VP going to get forced back. They get the Slark, but they're likely to lose their Aegis here, and Aloha Dance getting zoned out very aggressively. No Fear comes in, quickly getting dropped low by the big bad Doom, and Iceberg able to finish it off, so it is a 2 for 3 counting the Aegis. G, though, on round 2 of this fight, that the Veil on him is forced to turn around, and Iceberg man's up. There's a poor man shield on the deck. They have managed to grab the gem, and they want to get away with it. Not sure Iceberg will be able to, though. G comes back in. These Starfalls, he's getting off too many over the course of the fight. 4 are dead. It might well be 5. Crushed to secure it. FNG gets the job done, and that hot potato of a gem right back into Aloha Dance's clutches. So, Aegis, massive in that one.
And V, I feel like Team Spirit, besides the Slark dying immediately, they got about the best fight they could have got with the, Go-Black's Chain Frost bounced around to everyone. The THD did massive damage with the Veil, but Illidan dying at the beginning of the fight really killed him.
G had 3,700 damage. I'm pretty sure like 2,500 of that came after the Aegis.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have Aegis, they get destroyed there.
Oh, now Illidan's just, he's running in crazy now. I don't know if this might be the play, but...
That's the old,
yeah,
the Illidan
there we
of old.
go.
Oh, they're going to go on this. But not able to get the arrow in time.
That's the Illidan we know. Team Spirit now, that I feel like they want a 5-man, but they're falling back a little bit now because, they just saw what happened when they get into a full team fight, even with all their big ults. And if we do see bots, Midas, Ags on the Mirana, like you said. Almost to blink money if he gets the blink.
Could sell the bottle if he wants it now, but he kind of needs the regen. So.
Yeah.
He is holding the gem for the time being, and oh, look at this smoke from Team Spirit. Finding a kill when you're in this position with the wave past the river, that probably is either Rax or a buyback for VP. Remember, they don't have Aegis anymore.
Oh, and the
Gotta
scan.
be careful.
Oh, they scan the exact same place, and neither team will see anything.
Yeah, VP using Moonlight Shadow like in lieu of a smoke.
They have one smoke on Aloha if they want to use it, but they're just going to use the ult. And they know that they're like, they have to be top. They're going to go for that tier 2.
Haster now for the old Dragon Knight. That could be pretty big, but there is a Shadow Demon with the Purge, so I guarantees you get much out of this.
Who wants to take this fight? I mean, Team Spirit's running at the tower, so they want to take this tower, but VP's fine. They do smoke up now. They're super fine taking this fight.
No Radiant Vision, and they might find the Doom to start it. That would be really bad for Team Spirit. They get the call off, and then the Mirana jumps in. Aggressive commitment here from G, but it might be to his own demise. He's trapped between ice and fire, and he will go down. A painful song. They lose the Mirana off the bat. All that damage that they had last time around won't be available as FNG's forced back. Always want to fly, tanking against the VP backline. 3 heroes now being chased out, and Illidan about to pounce in. Get Aloha Dance here. They do deploy the Veil. And with that, Iceberg chucking out a Breathe Fire, now turning back for Yoku, trying to zone him away, keep that axe off the fight while they work on Aloha Dance. They do manage to kill off the Dragon Knight. There's a buyback for the Mirana. G's back into it. Wants to re-engage. Volcano always want to fly. The twin-headed Dragon's down. Gem re-secured. Godblack gonna fall as well. 4 heroes have been killed off in exchange for 3 with a buyback. So VP do salvage the fight. G, quick to pull the trigger there.
Yeah, it was a perfect buyback too, and they got their gem back, and it's right back where it belongs on him. And they didn't even really damage the tower. It just seems like Team Spirit's running at him, and it feels like they got a good fight. They killed G almost immediately, but their Doom died immediately as well. They're getting perfect initiations from VP. Either Illidan died 2 team fights ago immediately, and this time the Doom died immediately, and it's always a 4v5 for Team Spirit.
BKB is coming for Illidan, but I guess you look at VP, it is a lot of magic burst. Like,
yeah.
Even with the normally you see Slardar, it's a physical damage lineup, but
It's mostly that, yeah.
it's maybe more magic with the Mirana Shadow Demon, to be honest.
It is. And Disruptor, his ult's just been zoning everyone out there. I mean, they can't fight around, and they keep fighting at choke points, like between the trees by the tier 2 tower. And
speaking of that Disruptor, is it? Do you think this is the Veil build for him as well?
Veil build, sure seems that way. Veil into Mirana 3 Starfalls could be.
Veil, Soul Catcher,
that armor's not going to matter. The armor strat is not going to matter at that point. They go invisible again. But they just give away their invis.
The classic Moonlight Shadow into Slither
farm.
and crush up the creep wave.
Wow, this axe. Pipe Crimson Guard Blade Mail. He is...
Pipe is big this game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the magic damage. So Grant, what do you think from here? 29 minutes in, pretty much dead even as far as the numbers go. Are you favoring either team?
Kind of favoring VP. I know they have the Slark on Team Spirit, but VP's just they feel like they have the better coordination right now. They always make the team fight 4v5, and obviously that's gonna favor the team with 5. But I mean, Team Spirit, we've seen Illidan do crazier things, and you can just farm up 6 slots and start just getting Essentia stacks and one-shotting the supports.
Is it one of those games for you where the Slark gets to like that 6-slotted status that they can't really control him?
I think VP should be the one pushing the issue right now, and it feels like they're the ones playing defensive, and they're winning the fights, but they're not getting anything after it. And Illidan didn't even die last fight. He's just getting his farm.
And he is staying there almost even with the Mirana, despite the Aegis, despite the 11, 3, and 6 score. Illidan only 4, 2, and 6, but he's kept up pretty nicely. Only down about 1,000.
And we're seeing Funix now going to go for BKB as well, along with the Dragon Knight. And when they all have their 10-second BKBs, that could be when it's rough for VP.
VP congregating on the dire side of the river here. Spirit.
Roche is up now.
Also look to group up, checking our smoke status. Well, actually holding that, because we have a rotation on mid. Forget about smoke. They got Moonlight Shadow. And FNG is up in front. He gets in. He completely airballs the crush. Blinks over. Always want to play with the short hop and gets absolutely nothing done. Now Funix, a pounce coming through from Illidan. That's also going to miss, but the BKB does get engaged. FNG trying to survive through this one. Decent defensive disruption there, buying them time. BKBs have been blown, and now Team Spirit find themselves potentially on the runs up to Goblek. Gets off the Chain Frost, mostly hitting illusions. Back to Yoku, still committing, just trying to kill up an Axe. He will get the kill. Has the Silver Edge available as the ultimate ends, and he will poke down No Fear. FNG is going to be next, but G is just running freely through the fight. He's going to have more Starfall damage soon. Illidan really can't take this one. He's going to have to jump away. G pouncing in, has the Starfall, gets off the quadruple Starstorm, just buries him with it. That was about as disastrous of a start to a fight as you could possibly see for VP, missing pretty much every spell, and then they turn it around.
And Goblok, he got off another big as ult as you can. Those illusions tanked a lot of it, but G just the Starfalls. Now I see why you get Ags. I've been converted.
That was
quadruple.
Dirty. Like that Slark would have died with an extra 200 health.
That was insane.
Dirty.
I mean, it's been a bloodbath though. We've seen 8 or 9 people die every fight, with one person surviving on each team pretty much. And Slark got, I mean, he was just running roughshod at the beginning with his BKB on, but the disruptions coming out have been huge.
Yeah, it's so good against like those big single target ultimates. The Doom Roar we've seen in the past, it counters really hard.
And the Shadow Demon Aghanims now. So he will have, is it 2, 3 charges up for next fight.
This really ruins Dragon Knight as well as Slark. I mean, Doom, you more just want to get the ultimate off. The rest is kind of a bonus, but those heroes really need to be able to auto attack.
Oh, and this could be a Roche fight. This could be the fight. Because VP, I mean, the problem with the Aghanims is they don't take Roche quick, even with the amplified damage.
Yeah, Doom.
Okay.
Doom is cooling down here, so VP got to be a bit cautious about how they approach it.
Oh, here we
but
go.
again, the Moonlight Shadow.
That's nice. They're just using off cooldown.
They need a gem or sentries. Like Team Spirit are just not. They are not prepared to play against this Mirana, it seems.
They sniffed something out, but they showed themselves. They showed at least 3 of them bottom right now, and they're like, oh, we can do Roche then.
Can they kill it in time? Yeah, it looks like they're going to.
With all 5 of them attacking with amp damage, they finally have the damage. And now a scan coming up. They'll know if anyone goes down there, but nothing.
Dodging the scan.
They just get it. So Mirana, we got the items. He even got a BKB. Does he go for more physical damage, or I don't know now. Does he go for like an Eth Blade, something crazy? I mean, that's physical damage and magical damage.
Yeah, he could get an Eagle Sawn and decide later even if he wants.
He has that Aegis, so he can just farm up, save his money for when he wants.
Well, Courier is heading out now. Looks like that's the No Fear Veil.
Wow. So they have an Aghanims on Shadow Demon and a Veil and Disruptor. Their supports are having well, not even a better time, actually. Both supports are farmed on each team. Surprisingly, quite a bit.
Yeah, that's Shadow Demon's pretty massive.
Yeah.
That's an Aether Lens Aghanim's, actually.
You need to be able to get purged from halfway across the map.
Yeah, have fun. Really good way to deal with the Slark.
If he has to commit a Dark Pact, but you have 3 charges of it if you really want. Slark can't do anything. Looks like Lich is getting close to his pipe as well, so I'm not sure. That pretty much it's just been a couple 5v5 team fights, everyone dies, and then they just go back to farming. Maybe they're all sitting together. Looks like there might be a smoke from VP. Or just a Moonlight Shadow, there we go.
Yeah, they are getting so much mileage out of the Moonlight Shadow.
I'm loving it. They're just using it off cooldown as a smoke, pretty much, to gank.
This will be a big pick. Illidan, he's just used the Dark Pact again. But VP not there in time, and there actually is an Observer, which they'll deward. Still got a lot of time to go on the Sages.
Yep. Slardar just going for a BKB. Both teams are scared to farm alone. Even Illidan, when he usually just farms alone, he's not even doing that. He's making sure he always has someone around him at least, so he can get out of the fight. Doom has his BKB now once he kills one more creep. There it is.
Yeah, there's
3 BKBs on Team Spirit.
This is like, I think this is where they should see that power spike.
Yeah.
But the tough thing is VP has such good initiation, like the Blink Crush, the Blink Call, and you can force BKBs out quite easily with the Glimpse as well. So.
Uh-oh, Arrow just barely misses the TPing out THD.
Close call there.
Oh, they see him.
Oh, Illidan off on his own. He does have a BKB, but they're hunting. They have seen that fog cloud, and they are going to chase it out. Axe blinking forward. BKB now committed, and they're going to run in, but he's wasting BKB duration, just getting back into the fight. G popping his own BKB. The Doom is going to come out here. And let's see if they can find a kill off of it. G backing off the long range lob on the Chain Frost. It bounces back to Aloha Dance. Very tanky. Forward to the Raptor. Almost to G. Over to the Creep Wave, and then back around the corner to Aloha Dance again. Massacres the neutrals. Turns onto Aloha Dance. He gets brought down by the Infernal Blade, and now Iceberg kills off the Dinosaur. That was a very awkward chase from VP. Huge commitment on the Slark. Unable to get anything out of it. They do save G at least.
Yeah, dude, they really wanted him, and then they just pop 3 BKBs, turn around, and kill 3 of VP.
That's like the life and times of a Slark there. You know, they just
like, oh
send
man, I
so
love
much
just
at it.
running around 20 seconds. No one can attack me, do anything, and baits out a fight. And like we said, they just got all 3 BKBs, and they won the fight immediately after. They're pushing the base now, even.
They do still hold Aegis here on G. They want to force out a buyback, I think, perhaps, but none coming. And he will go back for a Lincoln Sphere. Tired of the Doom. Finds the arrow on Iceberg. Yoku not ready to commit on this, though. Just trying to slow down the push.
And that's the problem with the Aghanims Mirana. They all pop BKB, and Slark just hit him 40 times.
Oh, what a good call by Yoku, though. G's going to pounce into this. Has the Aegis. He'll have that second life to work with. The Starfalls do start coming out. Illidan forced back. Iceberg BKB on cooldown for 10 seconds. FNG with the Force Staff into the Crush. Gonna find one. They glimpse him back. And it looks like Iceberg is going to need the sexiest armless toggling of his life to get out of this. It won't happen. Always want to fly. Could go down as well. G just constantly pouncing his way in, looking for these additional Starstorm kills. And FNG will slither forth, but not going to find Funnick. So good hold there. It felt like Team Spirit really overstayed their welcome, to be honest.
Yeah, they did. And they killed the tower, though, surprisingly. Tier 4, Tier 3 tower is down. Exposed Rax versus DK is never good.
Radiant's mid towers.
Yeah, Slark looks like he's going for a Lincoln's next. I think that's fine, just more survivability. And oh, FNG's just sitting here.
He does a Force Staff, FNG.
He had to wait
still,
until the leap.
Still pounced.
Yep. That's just a free. Well, they know they have a ward up there now, pretty obviously.
Oh, they do get the call, though, onto Funnick. This could be big as the BKB has the Doom as well. And it's going to turn. He lets the Doom go onto Yoku. Not the ideal Doom target, though. It leaves G free to do whatever he wants in this fight. As the Purge goes onto Illidan, they're going to keep that Slark under control, even through his ultimate. Yoku being forced back. Even the Chain Frost coming in. G trying to finish off Funnick here, but heroes are about to respawn. Dragon Knight coming back in just a few moments. They finally get the Funnick kill. Yoku even blinking back in up onto the hill to commit for that one. Godblack could be next. The arrow off the mark. The Starstorm damage means it doesn't matter, and now Dragon Knight just walking down mid instead. Cannot engage.
Aloha Dance pretty much just soloed Illidan with 2 Purges, Aether Lens, and Shadow Poison stacks.
Yeah, the Slark is just not a hero right now.
He is not. The Shadow Demon is putting in tons of work. And after we saw him, they take a tier 3 top. Looks like VP's going to turn around and possibly push them, maybe force a buyback from Doom. Slark doesn't have one.
Yeah, even if he buys back, he has no ultimate.
Yep.
So really, what does the hero offer at this
And
point?
he's reasonably underfarmed, I guess. 1 in 5, and he's been mostly just fighting.
Yeah, I like this a lot from VP. They can fight pretty much all the time. Very low cooldown, so trying to force objectives. And whenever the Doom gets blown, they commit.
When Mirana just goes for a Lincoln. I see what she's doing. She's just going for a sustain. She can just stay in the fights. Once the BKBs end, then her damage just starts going huge again. And as the BKBs get lower cooldown on Team Spirit, or lower duration, just buffs up the Mirana.
Yeah, and they do want some mix of physical damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Getting something like a Butterfly, maybe an MKB.
We'll see, and she is rich, even after the Lincoln's 5k gold.
She's so tanky with this build as well, so you definitely get a damage item here.
Go Black? I mean, a pipe on each team. Go Black becomes a little more useless. Chain Frost, I mean, it's bouncing around, but it just doesn't feel like it's doing that much damage, even with the Veil.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
So 40 minutes in. Grant, there's still no racks taken for Team Spirit.
And it's not like it's been everyone's just farming. They've been running at each other. That's about it. Yeah, and Team Spirit, obviously, with the DK. They can go late with the Slark DK and all that, but they would have preferred to take racks by now.
Yeah, it's really weird. You see a Doom Slark, and to some extent Dragonite. You're like, this is a great late game lineup. Tricore, tons of physical damage, great lockdown. I mean, a little bit light on the team fight factor, but like you said, Shadow Demon literally just soloed the Slark and completely shut him down in the fights. And frankly, I think VP have the better team fight lockdown. Crush, Call, not to mention the double purge. That is really difficult.
They can't cut. Yeah, the Disruptor and Shadow Demon are definitely the better late game supports right now, compared to like a THD and Lich. Like the Disruptor and they're just always useful, and Lich kind of is already falling off right now. It feels.
Godblack had the hero ultimates, but
he did his job late game. Now it's time for his team to step up for him late game.
VP gonna move towards the Roche pit here, but nothing to find. It's close to a max respawn time, about 11 minutes.
Like they always want to fly just sitting top. They don't want that. They don't want every lane to be pushed in towards the Radiant side. He's trying to cut the creeps, make sure top stays pushed in, so someone from VP has to go back.
Yeah, they are scared though. You can see right now, and in fact, not a single hero has buyback in this game. 10 heroes who have bought out at 42 minutes with a Roche respawning soon.
And you were right, it was the Butterfly and Mirana, so one of the best offensive and defensive things. It's going to be real hard to kill that Mirana.
Yeah, Slark is just poor. Like, no MKB, still behind the Mirana net worth. Dragonite's not going to get one anytime soon. Evasion's really good this game.
Even though in intelligence, scaling, magical damage by like a real low amount that scared everyone when the patch first came out. What are your thoughts on that? Does it help supports late game now they get more magical damage? It really isn't that big.
What's the exact amount that it increases it by, do you know?
I was hoping you weren't going to call me out on that one. I think it's a really low amount. It is not big, and everyone's like, well, the game's ruined. Dota's over. It had a good 15-year run, but this one small change has ruined the game.
I've heard those cries many times before, but here we go. FNG out in front. He throws the Yule Scepter out and gets thrown up in the air. Now going to come back down to earth. They quickly blow him up, and into the backlines leaps Mr. Funnick, dooming Aloha Dance, keeping him out of the fight. They do not want Shadow Demon to shut down their Slark, so they, I think, correctly identify that the Shadow Demon is really the biggest threat in these team fights, and they do get 2 kills off of that. But Yoku cutting mid-wave.
And wow,
bottom lane getting pushed. VP still making the best of it.
And like, yeah, Team Spirit's like, oh wow, we can't push. Even though, well, Purple pinged it, and Always Want to Fly is thinking about it, but
it's 1% per 16 int, so
that's really nothing.
100 int gives a 6% bonus. But I guess you have to consider, like, there's things like Veil in this game on both sides, and then it's all the heroes potentially benefiting from it. So, especially for like a Jakiro, I think that can add up quite a bit.
I always want to flies and he's dead. No, not too much trouble when you're dead.
Yeah, it looks like he was just out of position there.
I think he was pushing middle, and he actually did a decent chunk of damage. Maybe his life for half a tier 3 tower isn't the worst thing Team Spirit can do.
You know, at least we didn't go full League. League has like spell vamp items. You know, it's like everyone can basically lifesteal off of.
Everyone's
spells.
great whenever they want to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super.
So
Well,
it's kind of. I mean, we do have Octarine, but it's
yeah.
like they have things that like it's like satanic levels of lifesteal from your nukes.
The magical satanic. Uh-oh, go black. You are. You're out a little bit. Oh wow.
Yeah, just dead. Instantly dead. But then FNG 3-hero crush as Team Spirit. Think about retreating on the back of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just the quick BKB, but Iceberg unable to really commit into this one. He is going to pop the ultimate now and goes to work with auto attacks. Trying to bring down FNG and is looking for the retreat here. The Moonlight Shadow been fairly effective, but Illidan does have a gem. It's up to G to finish this one off. Dug #1, Crush to follow it up and looking for the Illidan kill. Can they chop him? Yoku actually out of mana right now. Can't lock him down. They do drop a kinetic field though, and they get in with the auto attacks. 4 heroes dead. FNG with the big 3-hero crush to set up that second round of aggression. Well, you asked how's he been doing in the off lane. He was in the safe lane this game, had a pretty awful lane, but he has come up quite clutch here later on.
His score doesn't do him justice. He just had a big 3-man stun there, and always want to fly. Might be in trouble. Oh, barely gets hit by the fire, so he can't blink stun. Slark bot back. I think VP just decommits and gets the hell out of there. Which they do. Yeah, you were right. This Slark feels. I mean, 7 and 5, 222 last hits, but just the items don't seem to be there.
I wish they showed like I guess you can go in the console and see the end game damage stats, but I imagine the Mirana is just lapping him
Destroying
as far as damage goes.
far up, and now they get another free Roshan. Well, I assume it's gonna be free.
Aegis cheese, and your assumption is correct, my friend.
Yoku takes the cheese maybe, and G takes the Aegis.
Yeah, I definitely think you want G with the Aegis.
Or it's gonna. Disruptor's just gonna hold on to it, I assume.
So
For a friend.
Grabbing that Invis rune.
Ooh, and that Disruptor, I think, Aghanim's here is actually gigantic. If they pick up either of the 3 BKB heroes in that, and they just can't pop BKB, they're history.
Yeah, and you have so much magic damage that the BKB is more important than normal to get it off.
Man, I'm glad to see Mirana back. It's a fun hero to watch early and late game.
Yeah, I like the Moonlight Shadow, and like everyone, of course, gets excited for the big arrows, but having an ultimate that lets you it's kind of like Hitlord's ult, where it's like instantly your whole team can just go start a fight.
Yep.
Like instantly, Moonlight Shadow, engage, can use it to help teammates. It's, I think, a very underrated ability.
Yeah, and I think VP used it. They haven't done it as much, but during that, I think like 20 to 30 minute mark, they used it like 7 times just to like pretty much smoke gank with it, and it was successful nearly every time.
Yeah, and that's where, on the side of Team Spirit, at points like you're running out of smokes, you have to buy gems or sentry, and a lot of the time they didn't have that detection. In fact, right now, no detection aside from Godblack walking around with 4 sentries, but you can't just randomly plant them everywhere. So it really puts a lot of pressure on the enemy supports.
Exactly. Now we see an Aghanim's coming out from Jakiro. I don't know how long it's been since I've seen an Aghanim's Jakiro in a pro game. A long while.
When this got added, I think it was the same patch where like the Lich Eggs got added.
Yeah, it was something like that. And
oh, like the permanent bouncy chain frost, set of traps at the Ancients, and all sorts of crazy Reddit theory craft going on.
Oh, my favorite. Theory craft.
And Reddit.
And Reddit.
Definitely on GranDGranT's top 2 favorite things.
Yep. No, I really do like bacon though, but no, sorry. We're going to see VP just, they're not even going to care. They're just pushing into the base.
I got some good news for you. We're in America. We got a lot of bacon. At FNG, he's got a lot of aggression. He goes in. There's the Blink call to follow up the crush. Good lockdown here. And they chop up the Doom. Does have a buyback. May have no choice but to use it. Still hanging on to it for the time being. They want a catch here to follow it up. Yoku, though, gets disrupted. The counter to the Dragon Knight stun. Now the leap out from G. The buyback committed. Team Spirit got to get more. But do they have the catch? No, FNG comes back in straight onto just the creep wave. And we'll end up retreating, so. VP, one more kill on the Doom here, and that just might be the base.
Yep. Still have Doom. Doom, he got that one team fight they won when he doomed the
Shadow Demon.
Shadow Demon mid. That's been the best thing. He's looking for that right now. Like, he wants to get the Doom on him, and he has the blink dagger. But still, you don't want to blink in and just get blown up if you mess up. It's good positioning from Aloha Dance.
FNG moving back in and gets the amp off there. So
oh, DK has a Crystallis. He's going for the damage now. He's actually getting nearly slick slotted on DK.
yeah, he's 10k down on the Mirana, but he's still hitting pretty hard.
Wow, 30,000 net worth.
Radiant's
And is buying a. Oh no, that's Yoku. Yoku getting a heart next.
Mirana can get, I think you're right, she just goes like an MKB or something, just get insane damage, because you assume Illidan's going to get a butterfly sometime if the game keeps going.
They're going to disrupt that Mirana, looking for a little more siege with the illusions here. But always want to fly, quickly trying to deal with them. Can he finish the tower from the low ground? G wants to commit for this one, is going to get it. Beautiful deny by Illidan.
That's going to hope.
But now they can look for the base breach. Age is still about a minute and a half. And up onto the high ground they go, threatening for the jump in. Funnick is going to get caught out here by FNG. Force staff not quite enough to get him over the cliff, and they just pounce on him. Funnick engaging, but Yoku's there to bail out his buddy. Pops the BKB, re-engaging onto Goblak, and now Illidan trying to finish off a couple of these heroes. Still G has the Aegis, surviving for a time. They doom Aloha Dance. He's really got eyes for the Shadow Demon, but Moonlight Shadow, where's the detection? Only sentries on Goblak. They can't punish it. That has been the story of this game, really.
It has, and all they lost was an axe there, and they picked up a tier 3 tower and a Rax.
I think they're getting pretty frustrated at this point.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
surely you have to buy a gem.
Yep. Oh, and I didn't even notice G actually already ate a moon shard, so I guess that's why she has 32,000 net worth.
Yeah, I saw the 4,000 gold. I'm like, don't think this quite
insane.
adds up, but
Yeah.
doing
So-
math in the middle of a cast is no small feat.
Yeah, doing math is hard for someone like me in general. Someone with their middle school degree.
You've got the Walmart badge, Grant.
Yeah, I do.
That's
I
what
can
really
I can
counts.
count to 8. How many years I've worked
What's
there?
so special about 8? Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
There you go. I'm learning on the fly.
When's your anniversary?
July. Good old July. So what does Mirana get? Do you think she does go either Daedalus or MKB?
I like Bariza. It's a good name.
It just Bariza, not even the whole name. Just that name. But it's copyright now, so I guess.
Yeah, actually, we're probably gonna get shut down here
Yeah.
momentarily.
Well, see you guys later.
I hear Conrad coming. The Twitch police are inbound. They're beating on the door, guys. Help! Send help quickly. You all know where our offices are anyway.
Yeah, Reddit luckily got your address in the
Make
first 5
yourselves
minutes.
useful for once, people. But yeah, they're gonna push out mid here. So VP yet to close out Spirit, and you know, talking a bit about the standings again for those who are just wondering what the stakes are for this one. VP are 1-3, so they basically have to win out to have a chance.
Yep, and I mean, they could. VP's definitely. I don't watch the most European. I still like VP. If they win 4 in a row, they definitely could. Watching from this game, and it is the Daedalus on the Mirana. So she's 6 slotted.
That's a big cat.
Do you
replace the eggs?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, but now that everyone has 5-second BKBs on Team Spirit, I feel like it still does so much damage. But maybe at some point you do replace it for an MKB.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I think you maybe do replace it just because you want the single target burst to actually get a kill at the start of the fight rather than just slowly. Like, these heroes are getting tankier. You've got a pipe now, triple BKB, Doom, Dragon Knight, Slark all sitting at like 2,000 plus health.
Yeah, I think you do eventually just get an MKB, and you do a ton of damage to buildings. I mean, Aghanims doesn't really provide anything.
Yeah, I lean towards you do replace it, but it's there's an argument to be made that it's still worth keeping.
Yeah.
It helps you push out the lanes more, so I guess like a compromise item could be like a Mjolnir where you still get some good push, but a little more physical damage.
This will be the first fight Disruptor has Aghanims, so we'll see if they can set up something, just catch one of the main BKB users out, and they're toast.
VP marching down mid. Can Spirit hold the line? It's not going to be
Doom just
particularly easy defense.
trying to stack armor. Looks like he's going to go for a Shiva's or Assault Curse. No, oh, they already have an Assault Curse, so Shiva's on Funnick. Then they'll have all the major auras.
Oh, Aloha Dance started off with the disruption. Quick reactions there on the 4-step out. Then he's going to purge Iceberg, and they will chase. BKB available. Trying to force that out, perhaps. Not going to happen.
I thought No Fear was going to just glimpse him back. Maybe they didn't want to take the fight.
They definitely had a little hesitation there as G will get caught.
Well, the pipe was used, though, by Team Spirit, and they saw that, so pipe is down. But, oh.
They're actually moving out like they want to engage, and they are going to go for the stun, but instantly Aloha Dance there. He's able to force that away. The disruption again doing its work. Now they get off the purges. Iceberg, though, able to stand his ground, dish out the auto attack damage. G, BKB down, has to be careful about engaging on the Funnick. Gets the crit, and, well, the Blade Mail, that hurts. So Axe down.
That was actually sick by
They
Go
back
Black. The Mirana, I mean, got disrupted, and the Mirana leaped out, and Yoku jumped in, so there's 2 illusions and Yoku, and Go Black just killed him off that.
Spirit executed a lot better in that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, still, Aloha Dance continues to impress. Like, every
Yeah.
fight, getting off the disruptions,
He does
defensively and
what
offensively, not getting caught at all by the Dragon Knight or the Doom. Yeah, he's gotten doomed a couple fights, but that's like when the Doom is just spending like 20 seconds hunting him. So
Exactly. I feel it feels like whatever team makes the next biggest mistake, but if both teams just keep playing like they do, this could be a stalemate for a bit. Neither team wants to push uphill. You never want to push uphill 5v5. It's always too risky. And the Roche is back up.
I do wonder if Mirana can carry this all the way through, because it's basically like a pure utility Slardar.
Yep.
FNG is not going to dish out any damage. Axe, sure, you've got the pure damage counter Helix now, but still the hero falls off quite a bit towards the late game.
Yeah, Mirana, I think Mirana does have to sell the Ags for another damage item, I think. For sure.
Even then, like, Dragon Knight and Slark are hitting... I want to say they're dealing almost as much damage in these fights as far as single target goes.
Yeah, there. Now look at Iceberg there with the armlet not on and just all his stuff. He has 53 armor, so he'll be capping at about 70 armor when he has everything.
FNG taking this moment into the pit. He'll go. And they may look for the Roshan. First going to have a quick scout here. Generally, this is where the scans start coming out if you're going to go for it. There's a Radiant scan available. Maybe you can catch someone down in the river.
Yep, either above or below it seems to be the most normal scans. You know someone's going to be standing there.
But by the time they know, it'll be too late. And he does drop the Ags. Looks like he wants the Aegis for now.
Now they have 2 cheeses. Because I know someone was still holding. Yeah, Shadow Demon has the first cheese.
Does anybody want it? That looks like the Courier.
Courier's coming. I guess I'll take it. I'll take the
Big
Ag and
bold
infinite
move
cheese.
in. FNG goes for the crush, gets off the amp, and they continue to march forward, but there's a Sentry Ward waiting. FNG, where's the BKB? There's the disruption, but they've doomed Aloha Dance now, and he's not going to be able to contribute much from here, so they lose 2. Do they buy back, or do they just cut their losses and back away? Jakiro, meanwhile, dropping the huge macro pyre, but Mirana hitting quite hard. Yoku with the spins. Spirit grouped up a bit for that, and that's a lot of damage. G, though, gets caught out in the middle of the fight. Quickly going down now to Illidan. They've got some stuns available. They're going to isolate No Fear, bring him down next. Mirana forced to run, leaps out, but Illidan charges in, has a pounce ready. Creeps with the slight blocking maneuvers there. He's just in range, I think. Oh, barely missing. Gee, 8K gold. Cannot afford to die here. Looks like he should make it out.
Yep, and
as quickly as they get the Aegis, they blow it.
And usually Illidan's one of the few people I know always go Scotty and Slark. If he would have had it there, he would have had the kill, but that was a great fight from Spirit. And they're just going to push right down middle. Everyone has buybacks except Disruptor on VP, so I don't think they're going to get much out of this mid push, but a huge fight one.
All right, what's it going to be, Grant? MKB?
It has to be
Aegis?
MKB.
Or Rapier?
You're actually right. Hey, they need the damage. I mean, they're falling behind these fights. We just saw them lose. Oh.
Satanic, it looks like.
Satanic.
All right. A little more sustain for G.
Yeah, 20 damage and plenty of sustain. And he killed Lich at the end with 2 700 damage crits. He's putting out plenty of damage.
He's hitting the Slark quite hard here. G. Chase out, always want to fly, finds the crush. And will get the kill. Good job
that's
there.
A gem too.
G, and that is still a godlike streak for G. 19-3 and 16.
That actually hurts. I'm surprised that Jakira stayed there. He was their gem carrier.
And they cannot buy one for 4 minutes, but they do have one back in the base.
They do,
So
okay.
there's a
I think there's 3 gems
backup
floating
gem.
around this game. So, how have the games you've been casting going? Have they been going 60+ minutes? Have you had a few 20-minute games here or there?
I think Nahaz put it pretty well. It's like there's this patch. It feels like you can end games really early, like 20 to 30 minutes. But if you don't, they're a lot more likely to go late. And it seems like there's a lot of these like 60 to 80-minute games, especially heading into day 2.
And here we go. They're just gonna try to do this thing: Disruptor, Siege, with Disruption.
G. Fishing with the arrow, not going to connect here.
They're melting that tower though.
Fortify their structures.
They can just do it again right now.
And they're not being forced to commit much here. Checking buybacks now quickly. Everybody on the side of the Radiant has them. Only 3 on the Dire, but it's basically all 3 cores. At this point, I feel like the Shadow Demon more important than, certainly than the Slardar, maybe even than the Axe.
Arrow just hits an invisible Slark. They just take
Good
a tower.
Stuff. Good stuff. Ooh, look at that double MKB now, though. It's a lot of tools to deal with G.
This DK actually got like silently super farmed.
And even like you look at the net worth. It's like, oh, Mirana's down 13k, like 50% richer than the Slark, but effectively, him and the DK are doing as much, if not more, damage in the fights.
Yeah, and your net worth. I mean, your net worth caps at some point. Like you get 6 item slots. That's it. That's all you get.
I mean, you could buy tomes of experience. It's only a matter of time
every 10 minutes
before you can start buying item slots. Like that's clearly where Dota's headed.
That would be an interesting. Not even League's done that.
We could be the first, guys. We could be the first. And Illidan, you could be the last. He's down 110 seconds. He will buy back instantly. They're going to go all in on this fight. They need this one to work. Funnick getting run down by the Mirana auto tech. Turning back for Godblack, who's held onto the Chain Frost. Lets it go now. Bouncing back and forth onto FNG, over to G, then to Aloha Dance. It keeps on juggling. Godblack with the big Chain Frost time after time, but G standing his ground. He's already popped the Satanic, maybe dropping here on round number 2. There's the Disruption, trying to save him and turn the fight. FNG coming in as well. They want this Mirana to live, and they're going to secure her retreat for now. It's a rampage for G. He hands on through it all. Satanic was the item, and VP are looking like they might be the victors here. 2 down, and even with some buybacks available, it's going to be a 3v5 power play at best for a minute and change.
Goodness, G just, and Aloha Dance with that save just won him that team fight. And he doomed the Lincolns of Mirana.
I don't know when the last time I've seen a Shadow Demon do this much work is. He has been playing like a god.
There we go. That's game for sure.
And VP, they're going to take it. 61 minutes. The GG called Spirit a hell of a fight, but they just could not deal with Aloha Dance. They were not really ready for the Moonlight Shadow, it felt like.
Yeah.
Should have bought a gem in detection earlier, prioritized it a bit more, but hey, hats off to VP. They had some really clutch fights there.
That was a great game, and I think that might have not happened, but the Doom, no one broke Lincolns. He doomed the Lincolns, and that was the end of that fight.
That's true as well. Like, the fights where they were winning, he was dooming the Shadow Demon, and they would just then focus the Mirana. Like, they can win the man fight against her if it's Slark and Dragon Knight hitting her, and she doesn't have Disruption. But
Satanic definitely was the item we did not see coming, and that was...
He had 3 lives in that fight.
He had
the first life, the Satanic, like, heal-up life, and then he had the Disruption life. So. Just tough to
Great. VP, they started off really good early, and then we saw Team Spirit got into their 20-minute push, and then VP just slowly just started chunking down towers.
Well, Grant, it was a pleasure. I think I'm getting booted, or someone's getting booted for Sir Action Slacks.
Okay.
But, it was an honor to cast with you,
honor.
my friend. I think it's our only cast this hub, unless there's an unexpected one. So, where can they follow you?
I don't know.
Just kidding. You have a Twitter,
right? At GranDGranT. Yeah, you don't have to. It's whatever.
Follow the man. Follow the man. And congratulations to VP. They take game 1. They need a 2-0 sweep, though, guys. So stick around. You're watching the Manila Qualifiers, and we'll be back.